Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for May the 25th, 2020. We are not today going to be talking about the new hashtag on Twitter that's trending and quite amusing, I will admit, Cumgate, concerning Dominic Cummings taking a rather long trip to drop off his child at his family, parents that is, because his wife displayed symptoms of coronavirus. Many arguments have circulated since this and I can't be bothered. Instead, I want to talk about the European Commission's verdict on Scotland's EU entry. The SNP were delivered a blow by the EU when they were told that to join the EU, they would have to join the queue, a queue which would include Montenegro and Serbia first. Therefore, they would also have to begin as an independent state, which, let's face it, is a considerably large spanner in their quest to become independent via referendum and then conjoined by membership. Let's not forget here, Scotland wouldn't also be able to get in because their budget deficit is over 7% of their GDP.
Of the public want an extension to the transition period. I know the Minister isn't always fond of expert opinion, but will he heed their warnings and buy business precious time to adapt to the economic headwinds that Brexit will bring?
Well, I'm very fond of expert opinion, and the universal view of experts is that that Scotland operates the largest deficit of any country in Europe. Were Scotland to become independent, it would be perilous for the people of the country that I love, and that is why the union that works, the United Kingdom, should endure.
And if anyone remembers any of the economic crashes that happened to Greece, oh boy, that's tragic. Although I would argue you guys do in fact at least pay your taxes. Now, we can insert the excuses they always give of, but the UK government doesn't give us enough money, because that's how it works, right? Good luck tackling that when you try to become an independent nation, which won't happen because Boris keeps slapping it down anyway. So Boris has repeatedly declined to give Nicola Sturgeon the permission to try for an independence vote again. So the SNP are looking at alternative options, no doubt the Supreme Court. To join the EU, a candidate nation has to meet a set number of criteria, along with the country attempting to join the clique or bloc, needing to pass via unanimous vote. All other nations vote on their membership. For Scotland to join, they would have to introduce a form of austerity, something they are highly unlikely to do, because they are much more interested in their socialist utopia, in simply blaming the UK for not giving them more money to spend unironically. According to a report by The Telegraph in 2017, the former European Commission's official representative in the UK, Jacqueline Minor, reiterated all the difficulties an independent Scotland would have to face in order to join the EU. There are currently several countries that are trying to join the EU. Those do, of course, include Montenegro, Serbia, and Turkey. Jacqueline Minor also pointed out that a separate Scotland would have to commit in principle to joining the euro to get membership and show how it intended to bring down its huge deficit. This intervention by Jacqueline Minor was significant because she has worked in various European institutions since 1984. Spending 16 years in the directorate responsible for the EU's internal market before becoming the EU's woman in the UK. Understandably, Holyrood, which is where Scotland performs their little pantomime parliament, has a number of parties, unionist parties, that have decided to challenge Nicola Sturgeon to become a little more honest with Scotland when it comes to independence. Scotland did want to join the EU in 2019. They wanted to have the in-out referendum of their own then and push forward and get it done so they could join straight away. As many know, Scotland would not have been able to join for two reasons, one of which was very obvious, the second wasn't as well known. The first being that Spain said no. Therefore, the unanimous vote, even if they met the criteria which they don't meet, and let's not forget here their GDP deficit is going to go up because of Corona-chan, means they will not be able to join the EU at all. And the second, this one isn't as well known, but Jean-Claude Juncker nixed the idea because he didn't want to expand the EU under his premiership, presidency, lol leader thingy. For any country desiring to join the Democratic People's Republic of the United Federated States of Europe, that country has to apply from scratch via Article 49 of the Lisbon Treaty, a process that takes years, all totally worth it for Scotland, and if on their own for all that time, I'm sure they're going to do absolute bits. Anyone want to start building Hadrian's Wall again? I am down for that. After all, we do have the Yorkshire Stone, and it is quite lovely. Adam Tompkins, the Scottish Tories' constitution spokesman, because apparently that's a thing, indicated that this is a senior figure telling the SNP what it needs to hear. For all its moaning about Brexit, it knows full well an independent Scotland would not simply step into the European Union. Proof of that is when people started investigating the fact that somebody, the SNP, had paid to put the Scotland Loves Europe on an official EU building. Because that'll make you popular, won't it? Yes. Oh, you are precious. As I'm done with this, I'd like to know what you think. Scotland trying to get independent to join the EU? It's a fascinating subject, and it's better than coronavirus. Might be more interesting than the Dominic Cummings thing, because that's just become one massive spurg on, well, Sunday. As a final thing, there are going to be less videos on this channel. Monday, Wednesday and Friday for the next few weeks. Mostly so I can focus on my main channel. And I have other projects I need to finish, and I'm also working on a big project for this channel, which I thought I'd share now, explaining how the UK political system works. Air quotes around that, of course. But because of the size of the project, I want to get it right. So do forgive me if only Monday, Wednesday, Friday going forward for a few weeks, but I want to get that video done correct. No doubt I'll muck it up anyway, I always do. With regards to the subject we discussed today, I'm very much interested to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comments down below.